And welcome to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Tiger Stadium, home of the Cocoa Tigers. They will be hosting the Villages Charter tonight in a big-time district matchup. This is a matchup between two teams that have had different seasons, but a year ago it was Cocoa that dominated the Villages in this matchup. Terry, I'm honestly excited about this one because you look at the Villages, they're undefeated, and they've been talking a little bit of something to the Cocoa faithful, saying, hey, you know, we're undefeated, we're coming in here, we're going to dominate you guys. But Cocoa has dominated Villages not only last year, but throughout the past couple years.
Yeah, well, but when you're 8-0, Zane, you can talk a little trash. You know, you're kind of feeling yourself. You know, you should be proud, have a pat on your back because your team is achieving something that the team that you're getting ready to face has not. It's been sort of a down year for Cocoa. You're right. Last year, Cocoa won. I think it was 54-0. They beat this team. But this team circled this game, and they have not forgotten this game. And they say, hey, we've gotten a little better. This is your homecoming night. We're going to spoil it for you and your fans that are out here. So it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of fans that are still coming in, so it's good to see that. But I'll tell you right now, as we were walking around the field today, Zane, the look on the Buffalo's faces was total concentration, like they was determined. They knew and they know what time it is, and they know what's at stake.
Yeah, I believe they do. A week ago, Villages hosted Astronaut. Astronaut also a part of that district with Cocoa and the Villages. And Astronaut went in there probably a little bit confident. They've had a pretty good season themselves. But it was the Villages that beat Astronaut 35-0. And that is just the third of 3 shutouts in a row by this Villages team. They're led by quarterback Jadence Kennedy, and they have some other really talented players as well that we'll be seeing on the offensive side of the ball. But all around, the Villages probably are playing like one of the most confident teams in the state of Florida.
Yeah, they definitely are. And like I said before, they have that swag on the field. You know, you could tell. But it was swag, but it was also seriousness. And then I'm excited to see what this game is going to tell because it could be the tale of 2 seasons, right? Last year we talked about the blowout. The Buffaloes haven't forgotten that blowout. They probably have some players on this team that have been and suffered that blowout. So they're going to try to do the exact same thing. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout in this game because Cocoa's really still trying to pave their way. Like I said, they have the rhythm, but you know they're still trying to get their moving and their steps and their 1-2s and their 3-4s together. And hopefully they can do that tonight because this is a very meaningful divisional game.
Well, obviously the rain took a toll on this Cocoa field a week ago as the game against Apopka would be rescheduled for later in the year. It's going to be the beginning of November is what we've been told. So that game, I would say, honestly, goes to Cocoa's advantage because really you get an extra week of rest, but you also get an extra week of film and preparation for a Villages team that they didn't have that week. They had a game last week. Now, they took care of Astronaut, but Cocoa got to sit back and say, hey, okay, this is what they're doing well, and this is what we need to hone in on to be able to shut that offense down or be able to move the ball on their defense.
Yeah, but one of the things that we did see is one of the quarterbacks/wide receivers, his arm was in a sling. So that's definitely not a good advantage if you're Cocoa.
Yeah, Troy Silverzon out for this game. So it'll be really interesting to see who they want at quarterback. We've seen Champ Smith. We've seen him play some time. He's been injured. He's played. He's been injured. So a little bit back and forth. And then we've also seen the freshman Trenton Washington take some snaps. And honestly, if you're Cocoa, you're going to say, hey, we have a freshman that has a lot of potential. And if they give him an opportunity, this is just gaining him plenty of experience for his years to come as a Cocoa Tiger.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get a lot of experience if it's definitely him, if his number is called. But that's a good thing because you got to look at the future. And this is only preparing him.
So the Cocoa Tigers are taking the field now. Captains are at midfield for the coin toss. The captains for the Cocoa Tigers tonight is going to be number 1, CJ Hester, number 8, Durant Guilford, number 50, Redman Thompson, and number 9, Jermaine Waters. all around, this is a talented Cocoa team. I just think that they haven't really found their rhythm. And we've talked about it before, Terry. When you win 3 state championships, you're going to get a team's best every single week.
Yeah, you definitely are. And not only are you going to get every team's best, but you're going to get this team's best because they were blown out last year. So they're going to stick it. They're going to try to stick it to them. But if you're Cocoa, you have to stay true to the test, and you have to go back to playing Cocoa football.
Absolutely. So, tale, like we said, of 2 different seasons so far. Cocoa comes into this matchup at 2-4. Village is 8-0. So Cocoa has an opportunity tonight to not only take care of business and give the Villages their first loss of the season, but this is a district matchup. So they win this game, they will be in the playoffs, as they will still have to play Astronaut. But they win this game, they have a good shot at being in the playoffs. And the search for a 4th championship, I wouldn't say it's really that yet. I would say it's more or less just trying to get to the playoffs itself. So while they are 2-4, still a lot of opportunity for this Cocoa team to make the playoffs. So we'll see exactly what happens tonight.
Yeah, I wonder how odd would it look for a Cocoa team not to be in the playoffs.
Right.
You gotta look at that as well. This team has been dominant. Cocoa has been dominant for quite a few years now, and for them to possibly not be in the playoffs, that's a really a tough pill to swallow, especially for the whole county of Brevard.
It is. We've seen some other teams be able to really. We've seen O'Galley be the only team to defeat this Cocoa team just a couple weeks ago. But we saw Merritt Allen in Game 1 give them a very good run for their money. And you can go on Max Preps right now and look up the years past. Cocoa was blowing out Brevard County teams. And there's been a lot of talent around the county that has said, hey, we don't want to see Cocoa win year in and year out. And right now it's going to be really down to these next couple weeks. We're going to see Cocoa obviously face the Villages tonight, but they still have a couple more Brevard County foes, and Astronaut, and as well as the annual barbecue bowl with Rockledge. So that'll be coming up in 2 weeks. That's going to be a big one as well.
That's always a good time. Since I've been living here in Brevard, one of the games everyone always tells me that, hey, make sure you can broadcast or circle this game, and that's the barbecue bowl. I mean, that's the Cocoa and Rockledge. So they have a lot of history. So that's always an excitement.
So it is going to be Cocoa kicking off first to start this one. Once again, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Tiger Stadium, home of the Cocoa Tigers. The Cocoa Tigers coming in at 2-4. The Villages Charter coming in at 8-0. So big matchup here.
And, Zane, I think one of the keys to the game for Cocoa is to control this high-powered offense. The Buffaloes want to throw the ball, but they're Buffaloes for a reason, so they like to run it.
Yep.
And so if they can stop those and continue to eliminate the turnovers on offense for Cocoa, they have a great shot of winning this game tonight.
Cocoa prepared to kick it off. The Villages will receive. It's going to be kicked into the end zone for a touchback, so the Villages will take it on the 20-yard line to start this one. Just as the PA announcer said it, Terry, Cocoa Faithful has showed out tonight, full crowd at hand for the Cocoa Tigers, and they're going to need it. And that was one of our keys to success, keys to victory for this Cocoa team, is they need to use the home field advantage to their advantage. They need to be able to ramp it up, be able to make some plays, get that team going with just momentumous plays with a lot of cheering from this crowd.
Yeah, you're going to have to attack the ball early. I mean, if they're on your defense, are going to have to create a turnover. If they can get a turnover on this drive, that would definitely spark this team.
So as we mentioned, it's Jadence Kennedy, quarterback for the Villages, and that's going to be a run right up the middle. That's number 10, Christian Drain.
First down here, number 15. With a nice run of the middle.
He's going to pick up a first down on the first game. First run of the game picks up 11 yards, so that's a big-time run already.
Yeah, and if you're the Buffaloes, you got to be excited about that because you're looking like, hey, it was that easy for me to get 10 yards of carry. Let's do it again.
Well, they're going to run it once again, and that Cocoa front forces a fumble, and the Cocoa Tigers will come up with it. Terry, you just mentioned it.
I told you, I said one of the things that to get this crowd excited, but not only the crowd, but your offense to get excited is to get these turnovers. And this is what you're going to have to do. This is the way to beat a team that's 8-0.
So the first offensive possession for Villages, first run looked really good, picked up 11 yards, but then the second run, Cocoa forces a fumble, and now they are threatening with the ball at the 36-yard line and a chance to put up points early in this game. It's going to be a run to the outside. Zaylen Chaplin. Zaylen Chaplin will take it for about 6 yards.
Yeah, and you know what? I've never seen this before in high school football this year, but it looks like every time Coco's going to run the ball, even the sideline is screaming, run. So that's a good thing to see because they're helping out their defense.
It is Champ Smith. He's going to throw it over to the sideline. The pass is caught, tackle broken. That was C.J. Hester on the reception, but we have some laundry on the field, so it might be coming back. It is going to be on Cocoa. So the penalty will move the Tigers back after actually a really good gain right there by C.J. Hester. So make it about 2nd and 9 as the 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, and if you're Cocoa, you can't get any penalties. I know it's easier said than done, but you just got a turnover. You're gonna have to put points on the board and fast because the Buffaloes definitely like to score and they like to score often.
Yep. Champ Smith, empty backfield, steps back. He's gonna look over the middle, and it is caught. So good throw by Smith. That one is caught. Looks like it was number 5. That is Tank White with the reception.
I tell you what, and Champ, he looked very comfortable in the pocket back there. That's probably one of the cleanest balls I've seen him throw since we've been covering a few of the Cocoa games. So it's good to see that he's got a little swag and he's got a little zip in his passes. So let's see what he does on this drive.
It's going to be a sweep, handoff. Run for about 2 yards. That is number 4, McCarthy. Sorry, that is Cayman Varys on the carry. That'll make it 2nd and 7, but the Tigers threatening already. And how amazing would it be for the Tiger team to score when they were the ones that score first, when they were the ones that kicked the ball?
Yeah, it definitely would be interesting, but they're going to have to – I think this might be 4-down territory here, even if they're going to get it.
It will. So Champ Smith throws it outside. Tank White on the reception. He's able to pick up the first down, but there's going to be a flag on the play. I believe that's going to come back for a hold, Terry.
I know, and you hate to see that because Tank White, he has some wheels, and it was good to see that he was moving and shaking. He's a shifty runner, so It is going to be a flag on Coco, it looks like, and that's definitely, there you see him backing up. That's definitely not a good thing. You don't want to be backing up. You want to be moving forward. So
Yep.
if you're the coach, you got to be beside yourself right now because you got to get your guys under control and say, hey, we've gotten a turnover. Let's go ahead and put some points on the board.
Champ Smith takes a snap. He finds some room to run, and he's going to slide down. He's able to get to about the original line of scrimmage, so good effort there by Smith as he picks up about 5.
Yeah, that was good for Smith, too, because he didn't have anybody open downfield, and you don't want to see him force anything. He get what you could get, and it was a good job for him getting down, too.
Absolutely. So that'll make it 3rd and about 10. Champ Smith steps back. He's going to step up, and he's going to scamper up the sideline. He's going to get to about the 10.
Yeah, but you got to get your points. So it was a good job with the coach. Most coaches will get greedy right here because you're playing with house money because you didn't expect to be down here so fast. But it's a good job on the coach to automatically send his field goal team out there with not even questions.
I think it's the smart idea as well. If you can get points, you can get points. So the kick was up and good, but we have a flag on the play, so it's going to be,
It looks like maybe an offside.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, it's going to go against the Buffalo. I believe that was an illegal substitution.
Yeah, but the good thing about it, at least your kicker got practice, so that's encouraging. But now you get to keep the ball on top of that. So it looks like the kicker can always lobby to the coach and say, hey, you see how much I kicked this ball? I'm a good kicker. So in the event that they need to get a field goal, he can go out there and kick it again. But good job on Coco for running back out there. And now they're back on the offense. Now they need to punch this ball in the end zone and put 7 vice 3 on the board. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. You know, go ahead and sound off where you're watching the game from, and if you have anybody that's out here playing on the field, go ahead and put their names in the chat so we can shout them out as well. And shout out to the cheerleaders because they're out here doing a magnificent job along with the band tonight here at Coco's Stadium here at Tiger Stadium.
It is senior night for these Coco Tigers, so ahead of the game, the announcement for the seniors, where they're headed next year. And it's always a special moment because you see these young men that play on this field for 4 years all the way up until this moment, and you know they're off to do bigger and better things. So it's a great moment to see these seniors get to walk out there with their families and with the people that matter most.
Yeah. And one of the things that I think that's happening is the referees are I don't know if they're going to penalize them, and they're going to either take the points or it's not going to be an automatic first down.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Terry. It looks like the penalty is being picked up, and I could tell you right now, Ryan Schneider, we can see him from here. He's not happy.
Yeah, he's definitely disappointed. And then, that was a long play. I mean, it was just a long call, everything. So they have to get it right. So because these referees get graded as well, Zane. So good job for them holding up the play and getting it right.
So the field goal unit will come back out, and it is good. So
3 points as per so.
It was going to be 3 points regardless, I guess. It was fate for it to be a field goal on this drive. But regardless of getting the touchdown on this drive or not, you can say, if you're Coco, hey, hey, this is exactly what we needed, is some momentum to start this game. We kicked first, so we had our defense out there first, and what did I do? Our defense stepped up. We were out of field goal range, we got in field goal range, and we put points on the board.
Yeah, because I believe the last game that the Buffaloes played, they blew someone out, right? They held them to 0 points. If you're Coco, that's encouraging because you can say, hey, we playing with house money. We got 3 extra points courtesy of your turnover.
And you're exactly right, Terry. The Buffalo are coming in with 3 straight shutouts, so that streak has officially ended tonight. Coco will kick it off. Once again, Terry Spain and Zane Garcia from Tiger Stadium. 8:06 left in the first quarter. Coco 3, Villages nothing.
Lopez back deep for the Buffalo.
The kick will go into the back of the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. Villages will start on their 20-yard line again. And you got to know, Terry, that Villages head coach, he's preaching ball security.
Yeah, he has to because if not, they're going to get blown out of this field. And because Coco, you best believe, if they get another turnover, they're going to go for 7 points versus the 3.
So mentioned before, Jadens Kennedy is the starting quarterback for this Buffalo offense. We're going to see some Cavante Turpin and Christian Drain, who we saw on that last drive, are going to be some of the receivers and ball carriers that we'll be mentioning quite a bit for this Buffalo offense. So pistol set up. Kennedy takes a snap. He's going to throw it immediately. It is caught, and it's caught by Corbin. Excuse me, that was 18. That is Jamarion Clark. Goes by Debo.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Debo Clark for the Buffalo with the reception. He picks up about 4.
I can see why they call him Debo because he definitely tried to Debo the cornerback there. So
trips at the top of your screen. It's an empty set for Kennedy. And when they're in this formation, the only run play they can really do is a quarterback draw. And it was just that. Kennedy is going to step up, and he's going to have the first down.
I also want to point out, I know the Villages had gotten a turnover, but their offense is real disciplined. Yeah. I've noticed that about their offense is that you can even tell doing warm-ups how disciplined their offense was. So good job on their coaching staff for keeping their players disciplined. And not to say Coco is not disciplined, but when you can recognize stuff when you see it. So they have a very disciplined team.
Well, you can also notice that they're working at their own pace. They're not letting Coco's defense dictate the way this offensive drive is going. So it's going to be a handoff right up the middle. Able to break for about 10 yards. I believe that was number 6. That is Chenard Roberts on the carry. He picks up 10, and that's going to be another Buffalo first down. 6:20 left in this first quarter. Coco 3, Villages nothing. Villages trying to answer back with a scoring drive of their own. In the pistol. It's going to be another handoff right up the middle. That'll be about a 3-yard gain. That was Roberts again.
And if you're Coco, you're going to have to be mindful because it looks like the Buffaloes are just setting them up for the play-action play. You know, they've been running the ball, and they've been getting 8, 9, 10 yards a carry. But I could see a setup when I could smell a setup when I see it, you know. Yep. And so they're going to bring those safeties and cornerbacks a little farther up, and it's going to go right over their head. But the ultimate rule for defense is don't get beat deep. So I hope Coco can definitely realize that.
Stepping back to pass, Kennedy steps up, and it's going to be caught.
That pass is going to be complete to number 18. What
That's Debo Clark again on the reception. He's going to pick up about 13, 14 yards. So that'll move into Cocoa territory at about the 42-yard line.
And you see what I'm talking about, Zane, as far as like the polish and the smoothness of this team?
Yep.
I can see how they've been blown out a lot of teams. They had, 3 consecutive blowouts? I could see that. They're running very polished. They don't look bothered. They don't look flustered. They're not looking at the scoreboard. So, Cocoa, if you're Cocoa and you're the defensive coordinator, you're going to have to tell your players, hey, look, stay true, but I wouldn't mind seeing a blitz or two here from the Cocoa Tigers.
Yeah, I think if you're Cocoa, obviously you want to stop the run. You don't want them to be able to run all over you. But I think if you can, any regular fan can go on Max Preps and you can say, hey, this is a passing team. Their quarterback has thrown for over 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, and you have multiple receivers that are averaging near 50, 60 yards receiving a game. So they spread the ball around, and they like to throw it. And you're going to see, I believe you're going to see a lot of those little quick hitches, those outs, and that's how they move the ball down the field. And you could say, hey, they're nickel and diamond. Hey, nickel and diamond will get you down the field, and that's what they're going to do.
And you got one-on-one coverage too. But good. As I mentioned before with Cocoa, they have to stay true to that run, but don't get lulled to sleep because that one-on-one coverage is up there on the top for a reason, and they're gonna try to attack that sooner or later.
They tried to run it with Roberts up the middle. Cocoa front is all over it. It looked like it was Redman Thompson that was able to wrap him up first, and everybody else followed. Second down and about 11. Throw outside is dropped, and that was a catchable ball.
Very catchable. The wide receivers should have caught that. When it hits your hands, you're supposed to catch it. That's the old adage, right? But that was a really good thrown ball, place that only the wide receiver can get, and he let this quarterback down. So let's see if he's going to make up for that and catch the next pass because they're gonna keep feeding him as well. You know, they're gonna try to feed his confidence, so they're not gonna not throw it to him just because he dropped one pass.
Well, 3rd and 11, it's definitely a throwing down. So we'll see if they go back to Cavante Turpin, who was the intended receiver right there. And I'll tell you right now, if they get guys open like he was right there, that can make for some big-time plays, which Cocoa is going to have to eliminate in a game like this. Man in motion is Corbin. It's a fumbled snap. Kennedy's just going to have to throw it out of bounds. That's going to be intentional grounding. So really, you can't blame anybody. That was just a weird play, and really Kennedy, and in that aspect, you just fall down.
Yeah, you just fall down, but he's trying to play hero ball. He didn't know what to expect. The timing was thrown off.
Yep.
He's never probably been in that situation at that particular time. But good job on the Cocoa defense for staying true to that. And if you're Cocoa, these are the wins that I was telling you about, the little victories that you have to do in order to win this game. Now they're going to get excellent field position, and hopefully they can put some more points on the board because I know that's what they're going to be aiming at. We saw the quarterback for Cocoa and how comfortable he was in the pocket. He had some really good throws. He's going to have to execute and hit his wide receivers in order for him to make the game 10-0 versus 3-0.
So their first down would have been the 32. The ball is placed at the opposite 37. So you guys do the math. It's 4th down in Villages pretty much. The punt will bounce and get to about where they would have had to get to for a first down. So I believe you're looking at about a 35-yard punt with the roll, 37, 13. Give or take, it's about a 32, 33-yard punt. And the Cocoa offense will take over. Your defense has stepped up. If the offense continues for the Tigers, then they can get it rolling quick, Terry.
Yeah, they definitely can. And if you're Cocoa, you got to be tickled pink because you're like, look, hey, we didn't expect to be in this situation, but we'll take it.
Champ Smith in the shotgun. He will hand it off. Wow, what an effort by Javion Scott to really go from gaining nothing to bouncing around and picking up 5.
Yeah, he was like a ping pong out there. You know, he's bouncing off of every player. Good job for him holding on to the ball, too, because oftentimes that's when fumbles usually happen, but he held on to the ball, so it's a good job on his half.
Hurry up offense. It's going to be another handoff to Scott. He's going to go up the left side, and he gets the first down right at the line. So with 3:30 left in this first quarter, Cocoa is looking to drive back down the field and put some more points on the board.
Yeah, this offense is like they're in the zone, too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they take a shot downfield because they're going to have to.
Yep. It's a play-action pass. Smith does go. It's a shot downfield. He's got a man, and it is incomplete. It was intended for C.J. Hester, and he was open.
Yeah, he was definitely open. It looked like he ran out of gas a little bit. That ball hanged up there pretty long, but if he would have threw it just a little bit better, that would have been 7 points right there, Zane.
Absolutely. So Hester had the man beat and was open, but the throw and the timing just a little bit off, so that'll make it 2nd and 10. Ooh, that's going to be encroachment. Oh, they're going to give him false start. Never mind. It looked like Champ Smith's hard count was able to get the Villages to jump, but it was actually his own man that jumped, so make it 2nd and 15 for the Tigers offense.
Yeah.
Champ Smith takes a snap. He's going to go over the middle. It is caught. Breaking away. That's Tank White down the left sideline, and he's going to pick up about 35 yards.
Zane, that was the same exact play that they went to it before, and they're going to have to keep going to that. And good job with Tank White because he could have been tackled right there, but that was called stick-to-itiveness. That's one of our words that we use here on the broadcast, and that young man did not want to go down, so great job on his behalf of keeping his balance and hanging on to the ball.
Hurry up offense. Snap and the handoff up the middle to Zaylen Chapel, and it's just taken out of his hands. My goodness. I saw that from up here, Terry. Wow. That was number 12. That was Brady Hunt for the Buffalo. Excuse me, that was number 4. Dominic Lopez, he just ran up and just snatched the ball out of his hand. I saw that from up here.
Yeah, I did too. And you know what? That's a trend that's been going on in college and high school and professional football. At the runner's weakest moments, when he's trying to fall down, you got that weak moment in your time, and the defense notices that, and they say, okay, we're going to grab it now, almost similar to the peanut punch. And so, good job with the Buffaloes for getting another turnover. Now both teams have had turnovers. Buffaloes have had 2 turnovers, so we'll definitely see what transpires from this. But this game is, it's a defensive game, looks like.
Absolutely. 2:49 left in this first quarter, and the Buffalo will take over. Kennedy's going to go deep. He's got a man, and it is caught. My goodness. That was number 14, Omari Hill, on that right sideline. He looked like Mike Evans right there.
You can't get any better than that.
My
goodness. It looked like Baker Mayfield throwing to Mike Evans.
Absolutely. So that was a beautiful back shoulder throw. You can't get it any better than that. Catches it down that sideline for about 30 yards, and that sets up the Buffalo at the 35-yard line, and they're inching into field goal range to tie this thing up or hopefully score and take the lead.
Yeah, you got to be real careful here if you're Cocoa because they smell blood.
Throw outside. That looks like it was a miscommunication between Debo Clark and Jadens Kennedy. Kennedy expected Clark to just settle at about 2-3 yards and then make a move upfield after receiving the ball, and miscommunication there. They'll do it over again, 2nd down and 10. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Tiger Stadium, as the Villages are now driving down the field in hopes of tying or taking the lead. Kennedy's rolling out, and he's going to make the wise decision and throw it out of bounds. That was number 50. That is Chavaris Redman Thompson, who was on the pressure. And Redman was trying to make that quarterback a dead man. He almost had a big-time sack right there.
Yeah.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, we have homecoming. Homecoming night. We will be crowning a king and a queen at halftime.
So that'll make it 3rd and 10. And around the county, I forgot to mention this ahead of the game, around the county we got some good ones tonight. Titusville and Merritt Island, which is also live on Space Coast Daily. J.C. Meyerhold, Zach Clark. Go between games. Watch us for a little while. Watch that game. Let us know what's going on. Obviously, we're here in Cocoa. We can't see what's going on in Titusville, but that's a big-time district matchup as well. So all around the county, we got some district matchups. O'Galley and Palm Bay. That's a pretty good one as well. MCC facing OCP, Orlando Christian Prep tonight. All around the county, there's some good games going on. We're approaching the best time of the year, which is playoff time, and really all of these teams around the county are trying to still make their name, and I would say cement their spot in the playoffs. I wouldn't say there's any team that can say, okay, definitively, we're a cemented playoff team and we're going to go far. So all of these teams around the county still trying to make their mark.
Yeah, definitely. And you're right. This is an exciting time for high school football because you're going to see more teams and more players stepping it up, giving it all they got because they're looking to get recruited as well. There's a lot of scouts that are out here. People want to look good for their huddle film.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely a good opportunity.
Empty backfield. Kennedy steps back to throw. It's going to be a screen over the middle, and my goodness, what a play. That's number 12, Kyrie Brooks, in there on the tackle, and he read that like a book.
Very disciplined defense. And you could easily get lost in the shuffle, but he stayed true to who he was. Almost like he sniffed that play out. He knew what that play was going to happen, and all part of watching game film as well. I know these young men are watching game film, so this is a good job of him recognizing that and being able to capitalize on that.
Well, Terry, over the games that we've broadcast, you've talked and mentioned those long developing plays.
Yes.
It takes a lot of things to go right for those to be successful plays. And right there, not everything went right, and so you lose yards. And my, oh my, that punt is actually going to gain a total of 1 yard.
Yeah, you know what? Good job on the defender because he actually was in the line of sight of that punter. And that's why that ball, it almost looked like he tipped it, but he didn't tip it. But he did much to impair the kicker. So now a 1 yard kick.
Yeah, for y'all that are watching, you couldn't see the entire punt, but that punt went straight up, straight down, and took a Cocoa bounce, and actually went out of bounds 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. That's going to go in the books as a 1 yard punt.
Yeah, I think Cocoa's going to go deep because they smell it too. They'll definitely have to go deep.
Smith is going to go screen over the middle. Javion Scott is going to fight for as many yards as possible. He's going to pick up about 5, and we got some chippiness on the field. These teams, we mentioned it before the game. Number one, their district, they're in the same district.
Yep.
But these teams have been talking and chirping a little bit on social media, so that makes for an even better game.
And it's transcending on the field because they're chalking and chirping on the field as well. It's all about football, though. That's football.
Oh, yeah. So 2nd and 5 after the reception by Scott. Champ Smith is stepping back. He's going to throw over the middle, and it's Cayman Varys. It's going to be a gain of about 9, and that's going to be a first down Cocoa. And it looks as if Champ Smith is finally getting rhythm and comfortable with this Cocoa offense. I remember at the beginning of the year, it just didn't look like it flowed very well. It wasn't that he did anything wrong. They just didn't have that same continuity yet. And Cayman Varys is going to take a swing pass, and that'll be another gain of about 5 and 6. But we saw them early in the season against Vero Beach, and it just didn't look like there was a continuity built there yet. And now it seems Champ Smith is kind of in rhythm this game so far, Terry.
Yeah, he's definitely on the same page as his receivers, and he looks very comfortable down there. As the first quarter just in, 3-0. Seemed like it took longer than normal for a quarter, but hey, we'll definitely take it. And this has been some really good football today at Tiger Stadium.
Absolutely. So as we shift quarters, we will take a short break and take a moment to thank our sponsors for tonight. And welcome back to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Here in quarter number 2, we have switched sides, and Cocoa will now be going south. It's going to be a little shovel pass in the middle. Javion Scott breaks for a nice gain. I like that play design right there. Now we know Ryan Schneider, he's a guru when it comes to quarterback play and designing plays. And that shovel pass right there goes for about 15. That's a great play, especially to come out of, to start the quarter with.
Yeah, definitely good. And that's what you like to see. Mix it up, pass, run, pass, run. This is a direct reflection of what happens when you mix it up and keep the defense on their heels.
And I think that right now, Coco's giving Buffalo a taste of their own medicine because the pass is what we're accustomed to see from Cocoa. But if you can pound the ball right down the field, then that's not really what I would say. The Village has probably expected more pass game, and the run has been effective.
Yeah.
The ball is on the ground again. And luckily, it was Zaylen Chapel to jump on top of that one, but another fumble on the play. Ryan Schneider telling his team, just calm down.
If you're Ryan Schneider, you got to be upset too, because you got to tell these guys to hold on to the ball because you've had multiple turnovers, and you got a good thing going on right here. You can, if you don't put 7, you can at least put 3 points on the board, but you got to hang on to the ball.
Absolutely. Handoff will go outside. It's Scott, and that'll be enough for the first down. So Cocoa trekking their way down the field, and they are now into the Mike Erdman red zone as they are set at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, and when you're in the red zone, things tighten up a little bit, Zane. You don't have a lot of open field, so let's see how they're going to execute on these next play calls.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Terry, that DJ over in the south end zone, he's been playing jams all night. That might be what is helping Cocoa right now. It's going to be a throw over the middle. Cayman Varys. And it'll be about 5 or 6 yards right there.
Yeah, all positive yards. And you don't have to get everything all in one chunk. These 5, 6 yards, they add up, as you can see. And now they're close to scoring.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4 here for the Tigers. That ball is spotted right there on the Village's.
Gain of 6 right there. That'll move Cocoa closer inside, close to the 10-yard line. Smith looks over to the sideline. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a play action. Smith rolls out, and he's going to throw it away. I'm not 100% sure what they're going to flag right there.
It's got to be a holding. I think that's a holding, Zane, on the defense.
It's got to be.
It's a holding pass. You could definitely tell it's a holding.
It's going to be a hold on the offense. That'll be a 10-yard penalty that'll move them back. So make it 2nd and 13. And the Cocoa offense will do 2nd down over again. Smith takes a snap. He steps up. It's thrown over the middle and nearly intercepted.
Yeah, that's really great defense. He bailed him out because if he didn't, that would have been a touchdown there, Zane.
It would have been. Intended receiver was Tank White, but great coverage right there. And that was nearly intercepted. So, but those are the type of throws that I think that you kind of have to make sometime. Trust that your guy is going to make the play. So that'll make it 3rd and 13 for the Tigers. Smith throws it over the middle. It is incomplete.
Yeah, I think the wide receiver heard footsteps. He didn't want no parts of getting that hit, but he could have caught that and just fell down. But he didn't want to take the punishment, Zane.
Yeah, that was intended for Cayman Varys, and as a wide receiver, especially in the slot, you're going to take some hits over the middle. It's just the name of the game. So you got to be expecting to get hit right when you catch the ball. And sometimes the defenders, they're just trying to hit you, so you can be hit before you even catch the ball.
Yeah, most definitely. You might as well just hang on to it, right?
Yep. 9:22 left in the second quarter. Cocoa set to try another field goal. Snap, hold the kick. It is good.
Yeah.
So Cocoa will improve that lead 6-0. And I honestly think both sides will probably be happy with that. Cocoa put some more points on the board, but Village is saying, hey, they were down by our 10-yard line, and that was nearly a 2-score lead on us. So we'll take the 3 points.
If you're Cocoa, you're happy you got the 3 points, but you're a little disappointed as well because you could be up 14-0 right now. That's a big gap if you're up 14-0 by 6-0 because all it takes is for the Villagers to score one touchdown and kick the extra point, and they're up 7-6, and it makes it look like they've been in the game the entire time.
Absolutely. So Cocoa will kick it off.
I tell you what, Zane, this is the first time I had to wear my jacket outside today. You know, so that's a little frost in the air, just a tad bit.
We're finally getting to that fall weather.
Flag comes in from the far official.
So a decent return. It's going to be just short of the 20, but there's a flag. If that's on the offense, that's going to move them inside their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, sure will.
And it was on the Villages, the receiving team. It looks like it was an illegal block in the back. Move it 10 yards. They're going to be starting this possession, Terry, from, I believe, their own 6-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're Cocoa, you got to be looking for another turnover because if you get this turnover here, you're in excellent field position. So let's see how their defense turn out in this particular drive here. But I wouldn't be surprised if they add a little blitz. I know the coach, the defensive coordinator, don't like to blitz as much, but this will be an opportune time where you can blitz.
Yep.
I think the Villagers is going to be happy with just running the ball, just try to get positive yards. So you got to be mindful of that too.
It is a run right up the middle, and not much room to run. Cocoa defense was there, and they were ready.
But this is where you have to watch out for the play action as well. I talked to you about that before. Everyone is expecting run, but if you can go ahead and throw one over the top, you could be hitting your head on the goalpost, Zane.
You could, and that Buffalo offense, they've got some speed over there. So with only one safety high and man-to-man on these outsides, there could be a deep pass coming, and sure enough, there it is. And it was nearly caught. They're gonna call a pass interference. And I can't tell the referee that they're right or wrong, Terry, but I thought it looked like good coverage to me.
Yeah, it did look like real good coverage here, but he might have got away with a little tug here and there. But he was on an island all by himself, so I think the defender kind of panicked a little bit too because he knew he didn't have any safety help over the top.
Yep. So Amari Hill was the intended receiver. That's going to be a pass interference, automatic first down for the Buffalo, and we do have an injured Buffalo on the field. It looks like one of the offensive linemen is down, and I'll tell you right now, the game starts in the trenches. You don't want to see one of your big heavies down.
You definitely don't want to see any of your big heavies because Coco is going to see that, and they're going to test whoever's got to come in for him to replace him. So you got to be mindful and maybe run it the opposite side of what position he plays because you're going to need him in the long run. You're going to need all your big heavies up there, so hopefully they have a good second string that can come in and demand the attention as the starter does.
It'll be oh so important for the Villages going forward. But as we have a moment of stoppage, it is 6-0 here from Tiger Stadium, 8:24 left in the second quarter. We'd like to thank everyone that is tuned in tonight. As Terry always mentions, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you're rooting for. And if you have any scores, updates from around the county, then let us know what you've seen, heard, and have watched, as tonight this has been a defensive battle. This has been a battle that I have not really expected. I expected more of a high-scoring game, and it has been a defensive battle tonight. So, but the Villages they're looking to score, and we saw the Villages get the ball first to start the game, so they really need to put up points as Coco will get the ball to start the second half. It's going to be a throw outside, a lot of room to run. That is Cavante Corbin. He cuts back and will pick up about 15. What a cutback there by Corbin.
Move. I think he juked everybody on the field, even the referees.
Yeah, that was a really dynamic move. That was one of the guys we highlighted ahead of the game for Villages, who's going to see the ball quite a bit, Cavante Corbin. Right there, he looked like a mixture of Xavier Corbin and Cavante Turpin. Cavante Corbin.
Yeah.
It's going to be a keeper. And that play was dead from the start, Terry.
Yeah, it definitely was a bobble snap. That throws the timing off. They're going to have to get that under control because that's one of the reasons why they don't have 7 points right now, because of that bobble snap.
Looked like the timing was just off by a little bit right there. And Kennedy just had to take the loss, chalk it up as a loss of 3.
Another bobble snap there, Zane.
Another bobbled snap. Kennedy's able to pick it up, and he tried to throw it.
He's in trouble. He's going to go down.
I tell you what, if you're Coco, good job on being alert for the defense. You have to be excited if you're Coco because that's a part of the game. When you get opportunities for fumbles and turnovers, those are part of the game. And if you're Coco, you have to be excited about this.
Absolutely. So now it's third and about 16, 17. You can see the crowd starting to get into it a little bit. And that is what the Coco defense needs. They need their crowd to get loud, make some noise, make it hard for that Village offense. Kennedy steps up. He's going to throw it, and it is incomplete. It was intended for Debo Clark. That'll make it 4th and 17. And I'll tell you right now, Terry, this Coco defense has looked lights out tonight.
They sure have. And, you know, their special teams that look pretty good as well. So they're winning on all the phases of the game that we normally talk about in order for you to win, especially if you're the underdog. So great job with Coco. And if they can get a good return here, and get it on the opposite side of the field, this will definitely be a positive because you got 6 minutes and 13 seconds left in the second quarter, and you get the ball at the second half.
Yep.
After the half, you're playing with house money, Zane.
They are. So that's a little bit better punt this time by the Villages punter. It'll take a Cocoa bounce, however, so Cocoa will start on their own 36-yard line. That's not too bad of field position to start this drive. And as you mentioned, 6:06 left here in the second quarter. 6-0. Cocoa still leading this one by a score. But really, I think both sides are still trying to figure it out a little bit. We've seen the Cocoa offense move the ball a little bit better than the Villages, but I think defenses have settled in early, and the offenses, I think that's going to be the biggest thing in the second half, is what offense can make that big play.
Yeah, and if I'm Cocoa, I'm going to do some type of trick play here in order to throw the team off and shock the defense. So if I was Cocoa, I would be drawing up some type of trick play, and hopefully it works out for you.
You know, I agree with you on the trick play. I don't see a better time to run up a little flea flicker and throw it deep to Tank White, who has been electric tonight for this Tigers offense. So it's going to be trips at the bottom of your screen.
All right, here we go.
Man in motion is Varys. It's going to be a throw outside to Hester.
Going to be caught.
He's able to break one tackle and pick up about two. And really,
Hester didn't want to go down, did he? He was shoving everybody.
he didn't. That's one of those plays that, yes, it can be effective, but the way that throw needs to be is not how it was. That throw has to be ahead of the wide receiver, and he needs to be already running, pretty much running upfield as he's catching that ball, and that's not what happened. The throw is way behind him, and that's what led to only a 2-yard gain. Champ Smith is going to go over the middle. It was intended for C.J. Hester, and that is going to be a pass interference. The Cocoa side is like, finally.
Yeah.
Finally we get one.
Something. But you know what? They love that over that middle, because I mentioned before, the middle is open, so they love that play. That's what's been giving them a lot of success. So good job on them attacking that middle again. And they need to continue to attack that middle because they've been gaining 15, 20 yards every time they throw it in the middle and the receiver catches it.
Absolutely. So pass interference right there by the Buffalo will give the Cocoa offense an automatic first down. It's going to be run right up the middle.
That's going to be Scott.
Javion Scott able to break a tackle.
5 yards on the play.
So he's going to pick up 7, 6.5 on first down. And that's a really good run. Now we have a injured Buffalo running off the field now.
We have a player down here.
I will use this time to once again thank our sponsors, Mike Erdman Automotive, Auto Expo 95, Health First, Eastern Florida State College, Florida Tech, and All Points. Once again, thank you to all our sponsors. And we have a great one on our hands right now, 6-0. Really, I think both these sides came in pretty confident. You could look at Cocoa's record and say, hey, 2-4, this is a team that's defeated. Absolutely not. This is a team that knows what they have the capability to be. I think part of it, Terry, has been the schedule. They've played a lot of difficult games. But another thing is when you've won 3 state championships in a row, you just can't do it year in and year out and be the best of the best every single year.
Yeah, but I think you kind of spoiled the whole county of Brevard, and people have gotten accustomed of you being the best of the best. So this is what happens.
Champ Smith will step back. He's going to go deep. It was a double move, and it is caught. That was C.J. Hester on the double move.
Wow. You remember I told you had to go long, Zane? This is what you're going to have to do in order to win a game like this. He was all by his lonesome.
He was. It was a great double move. Wow. Flag on the play. It is coming back for a holding on the offense.
Unbelievable.
Wow. So take the touchdown off the board. That originally was a 46-yard passing touchdown from Champ Smith to C.J. Hester, but take it back, a holding on the play. And it feels like that's kind of been the unluckiness that has happened to Cocoa tonight on momentous plays. They've been brought back by penalties.
Yeah, and this is very unfortunate because that would have definitely gave the entire team momentum. But you know what? You can't go back. You go back there and you score again. That's what you're going to have to do in order to give this crowd something to cheer about like they just recently did.
So it's going to be another pass over the middle, and that one is intercepted. Wow.
That's going to be number 0.
The wide receiver stopped on that play, Zane, and it would have been high even if he didn't stop. So that was not a very good thrown ball.
It wasn't a good thrown ball at all. And both sides right now, what a turn of events. Cocoa side, very, very happy. So
they gave him a delay of game on that penalty, but it's still going to be the Buffalo's ball.
Yeah, it is. And as I was finishing, what a turn of events. Cocoa makes this huge 47-yard pass and touchdown, and you're thinking, wow, we're about to go up by 2 scores over the Villages. Not so fast. A holding penalty brings it back. Next play, interception.
You don't have any words for that. I mean, that's very disheartening to see because 1 minute you're riding high, and then now you've seen the lowest of the lows right there. And good job for the Buffaloes for actually sticking to it because that was a very crazy sequence of events for them and their defense as well. So for them to stay true and get a turnover out of that, good job on their defense.
It's going to be a pitch play, run to the left side.
That's going to be a pitch to the left side for a gain of about 6 yards on the play.
That was number 15, Antoine Johnson, on the carry for the Villages. Able to scamper and pick up about 8.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 3 here as we're nearing the 4-minute mark.
It's going to be a pass outside, and that's going to be a first down. That one went to Debo Clark, 4-yard gain, and that'll move the chains. So we're now under the 4-minute mark here in the first half. This has been a back and forth game. We've seen turnovers, we've seen defensive plays, we've seen offensive plays. And really this game might come down to the fourth quarter, last possession, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's happening. Oh, wow. What a catch.
That is Cavante Corbin.
Catch. I'll tell you what, he didn't even care he was in double coverage. That's what you call determination and heart. And, wow, I'm speechless.
What a grab there by Cavante Corbin. That is called ultimate trust in your wide receiver right there. If you're Jadens Kennedy, you threw that into nearly triple coverage, double coverage, and say, my man is better than the both of y'all. Not just one guy, better than the both of y'all.
And well, he's probably was right on that one because he caught it.
Great defensive play there by the Cocoa defense. That was Trinard Roberts who took the handoff up the middle. And that was funny. He took the handoff, and he started to backpedal as he took the handoff because he said, whoa, why is so many black jerseys coming to tackle me?
This didn't look right.
So that'll make it 2nd and 15. Great defensive play after giving up a huge offensive play. So little revenge play there.
Yeah, and I think Buffalo's just going to try to throw the ball. Their best luck for offense here is just throwing the ball. They're going to have to be the one-dimensional on this drive here.
Kennedy goes outside. It is caught. That is, I think that was Cavante Corbin again on the reception. He gets near the original line of scrimmage. So that'll make it 3rd and about 11 and a half.
Yeah, this is 4-down territory here. I don't care if it's 4th and 7, 4th and 8. You're going to have to do 4-down territory unless your kicker can can kick a ball from this field right here. But if not, they definitely have to go for it because
I
you have
agree.
2 minutes left. You got to do something. Your defense has been playing pretty good as well, so you're on your side of the field. So let's see what happens.
I agree with you. Trips at the bottom of the screen. 3rd and 11. Kennedy will take the snap. He's going to throw it outside. It is caught, and that is going to be a first down. That was number 12, Brady Hunt, on the reception. And that's a good run after the catch as he's able to pick up 13 in the first down.
The runner just fell right into that zone, that soft spot right there, and got extra yards, and that's exactly what you want.
And those are the type of reads that you want your quarterback to be already picturing before he snaps the ball. Is the coverage is soft, I know who I'm going to.
Right there at the Tiger 29-yard line.
So moving down the field is the Buffalo offense. Kennedy steps up, evades, and he's gonna scamper for a couple, but a flag on the play. I believe that's gonna bring that back for a holding call.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Kennedy's in the 11th grade, right? So he's a junior.
Yes.
So he's going to get better. He's actually showing me a lot in this game, but he's going to get better. So I wouldn't be surprised if you hear a lot more of his name next year.
Yeah, that young man already has some offers, but really has offers from small schools. And I'll tell you right now, he continues playing the way he's playing, there's going to be some bigger schools calling.
Yes. Anytime your team is undefeated and you come into a game against Cocoa, and if they so happen to win this game, yeah, there's going to be a lot of teams coming to look out for you.
Halftime festivities begin.
This is homecoming and senior night for Cocoa High School. So as the homecoming court and band are taking the field for halftime, we will play that show, as many would like to hear if a friend or family member is announced as the homecoming king or queen tonight.
I'd also like to give a shout out to Carlsbad, Vein, and Vascular, along with VA Paving for being a Tiger Paw sponsor. Thank you.
Yeah, you got a minute and 34 seconds left. Cocoa Tigers is up 6-0. This game has been a defensive battle. It's been a knockout, drag-out, turnovers here, turnovers there. But, hey, it looks like the Buffaloes are trying to charge down the field and score a touchdown here.
Absolutely.
From the 39-yard line of the Tigers.
So in the pistol formation, Kennedy Corbin will be in motion. Kennedy steps up, and he just tries to get rid of it.
Another flag comes in.
That's going to be – I think they're going to call a holding, but that should also be intentional grounding too, as Kennedy just tried to flip it out of there.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I think his knees were already down when he threw the ball. But another thing is, if you're the quarterback, you're going to have to get the ball out a little faster than that, or make your decision up early. If you don't see anything down there, just tuck the ball in and run it. And that's something that he'll develop as he goes to the next grade. But he's been doing a good job, but he's got to see his receivers early or just run the ball.
Well, I think one thing that we're seeing, Terry, is you can visibly see the size difference between the Villages offensive line and the Cocoa defensive line. The Villages offensive line, they got some big boys up there.
Some big heavies.
I think it's the Cocoa speed. That Cocoa speed on that defensive line is really causing havoc, and they've been able to get to Kennedy multiple times in this game, and it'll be real interesting to see the halftime adjustment, because really, like you said, you're going to have to get the ball out faster. You're getting it out in 4 seconds. You got to get it out in 3 seconds.
Exactly, and I think that's what you're going to see in the second half. They're going to get the ball out a little bit faster than the first half.
So call it 1st and 35. And wow, that's going to be a sack. That's Tremaine Waters that was in there on the sack.
That's where you would like to see him throw it to his check down player. He had a running back in the flats that he could have threw it down to. Even if he didn't score anything or get any yards, you would have loved to see him throw it to his running back in the flats out there.
This might be the longest second down I've ever seen. They're at their own 39-yard line, and the first down yardage is the Cocoa 19. So you do the math. Is that's
So it's second in Palm Bay.
That's second and 50.
That's a lot.
You do the math. They're 39, 11 yards, and then 31 yards to get to the 19-yard line. Yes, it is second and 50 right now. I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's second in Key West right there, Zane. And you're probably not going to see that too often in games, but that's a long way to go. You don't have to get it all in one chunk, too. You could tell your quarterback, you can get 25 here, get you in field goal range, possibly. I don't know how their kicker looks this year, but you don't have to get it all in one.
You don't, but what you need to do right here is be smart.
Yeah, and I like what Coco's doing. They're actually coming out of their normal defense, and they kind of, they're playing to the pass. But then you got to utilize your timeouts as well. You still got 1 minute and 16 seconds left here.
Wow, that Cocoa defense has been nasty. Coach Schneider will take a timeout. That's going to be a loss of about 2 yards again. So chalk it up to be probably the longest third down we've ever seen.
Yeah, I know that the Buffaloes have been blowing people out. But, like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face, right?
Yep.
The Tigers is showing them, like, look, hey, we beat you guys last year and shut you out. Right now, it's even though the score doesn't reflect how it looked last year, but a shutout is a shutout. 6-0
Yep.
versus 54-0. Still, you haven't scored any points against this team in 2 years.
Yeah, Coco's defense has been stout tonight. So the Villages have the ball at their own 36-yard line. And if they want to get a first down, they have to go all the way to the Cocoa 19-yard line.
Yeah.
So you do the math, 31 yards plus 14. My goodness, we're looking at third and I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. It's like third and 45 at this point. And right now, I expect the Villages to do the same thing they just did, just run the ball, try to bleed some clock. There's 1 minute and 5 seconds left here in the first half. Coco's playing a prevent defense. They're not wanting to give up any big plays, but I expect us to see just some runs to bleed some time. It's going to be a throw outside. It was caught. That was number 14. That is Omari Hill. We've caught his name before. He was able to pick up about 10. That's still going to make it 4th and 35.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Tigers call a timeout because there's 56 seconds left on the clock. That's a lot of time. You get you a couple of plays down here, even if it's a field goal, you're up 9-0 versus 6-0, and that's a two-score game.
Yeah, I know. We usually talk analytics on fourth down.
The analytics doesn't say go for it. It didn't say go for this one.
The analytics says don't you dare.
The analytics say kick it and kick it as far as you can.
Yep. So the ball is sitting at around midfield. If the Villages can get a good punt right here, I believe Cocoa has 1 timeout left. They just spent 2 to stop the clock. So
we talked about good punts. The last punt that they had went for 1 yard.
Well, actually, that was the second. The punt the last punt was actually a better punt.
Yeah, you're right. It was a better punt, but the punt before that went for 1 yard. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cocoa try to get a little block punt here.
Yeah, absolutely. Go after him. But if you can get a good punt right here, you want to pin them deep if you can and make it hard for Cocoa to drive the length of the field. And they did almost get there, but it's a nice punt. And it takes a nice Villages bounce. And they're going to down it at the 10-yard line. So
that's a bright spot.
Make it a 44-yard punt, and that's about as best of a punt you could ask for your punter right there.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that, but Cocoa still has a lot of time. You got 51 seconds left on the clock. I say just throw it. You're gonna have to score more points than that because if Cocoa doesn't, and one touchdown will put the Village is back in the game. So you want to score as many points as you can. So go out there and throw it.
One thing we also have seen, though, is we've seen Tank White and we've seen C.J. Hester be able to beat the defensive backs. I'm throwing it to them. If they can do those double moves on the outside.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that call, Zane. I get a little aggressive here if I was Coco because, one, you're at home. This game means a lot. And what else do you have to lose? Your defense has been playing pretty good, but I can see how he wants to be cautious. But I would definitely went for something to try to see if I can get a turnover. If I can see if I can get a penalty or something to bring me downfield.
Yeah, Coco playing it conservative right there. Just take some knees to go to halftime. They will receive to start the second half. So they lead at halftime 6-0. Before we go to the half, Terry, your thoughts on the first half, what we saw, what was good, what was bad, what was ugly?
Yeah, I mean, what was ugly was the turnovers from both teams, you know. They definitely they're going to have to clean that up because these turnovers definitely could be costly. And it almost was costly because Coco should have actually had a touchdown, but because of a penalty, definitely kind of derailed that. But so the turnovers and penalties have been the ugly things. Some of the good things you've seen where Coco was able to capitalize on some first downs and throw the ball down the middle, and their receivers were catching it. And then even though they're only down 6-0, I still like the poise that the Buffaloes have. You know, they're not out from down and out from this game at all because they're only down 6-0. You score a touchdown here, Zane, you're up.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you, and I think you got to look at the focal point of Coco's offense is normally throwing the ball, but what have they done well? They've been running the ball really well. Javion Scott and even Zaylen Chapel has been able to run the ball as well. So I think you got to look at Coco's ability to run the ball as a big factor in this game because that's one thing that has hurt them over this season. They've been one-dimensional. It's been throwing the ball. Screens, swing passes have been their run game, and we have not seen that tonight. We've seen downfield runs. We've seen, runs up the middle, runs outside. So it's been an effective run game for the Coco Tigers. But we are going to halftime. So we have the homecoming court coming out. The band and color guard are about to do their thing. Terry and I will take a brief break, and we'll be right back in about 20 minutes to start this second half.
Up first, we have our ninth grade princess, Emily Manzarines. Emily is going to be accompanied by her parents, Aline Lugo, and her escort for halftime is going to be Peyton Mark. All right, our ninth grade princess. Let's make some noise for our ninth grade princess, ladies and gentlemen. Emily Manzanares. Up next, we have our next ninth grade princess, Mrs. Issy Herrera. Her escort for halftime is her mom and her sister. Emily also plays soccer for Coco High. How about a big hand for our ninth grade princess? Let's hear it. Our 10th grade princess is going to be Miss Jocelyn Mayon. Parents are James Maiden, Stacy Maiden. Escort for halftime, her dad, James Maiden, and friend, Andrea. How about a big round of applause for our 10th grade princess? Also, our 10th grade princess is going to be Jeriana Pollard. And her escort for halftime are going to be her mom, Jessica, and her dad, Jay Pollard. Jeriana also was a 4-year varsity softball player. All honors and classes with the honor roll maintains a 3.8 to 4.0 GPA. Let's hear it for our 10th grade princess. Our 11th grade princess, our 11th grade prince, excuse me, is going to be Quincy Kendrick. Coming up next, our 11th grade. Our 11th grade princess, Zanaya Howard. Coming up next, our next 11th grade princess is going to be Diamond Bryant. And her escorts are going to be Talia Bryant, Daryl Bryant, and Destiny. She's also a participant in girls track and field and was the state 100-meter finalist. She placed 4th. All right. Another 11th grade princess is going to be Armani Cobb. Mike, okay. And her escort for this evening is going to be Kyrie, Khalil, Lydiana, and Chanel Scott. Mrs. Cobb also is a National Honor Society president. Coming up next, we have our 12th grade prince. All right, up next we have the 12th grade prince, Joshua Salinas. He's going to be escorted by his mom and dad. Extracurricular sports and activities, school government association. And he's going to be taking up welding at Eastern Florida State College. Our next 12th grade prince, Kevin Gondomez. And he's going to be escorted by his mom and dad, his little sister, and his other sister. He also plays soccer, and he's involved in the chorus. Let's hear it for our 12th grade prince. Our 12th grade princess is going to be Genesis Mendez. Genesis is also a member of the Color Guard. Next up, our 12th grade princess, Haley Fernandez. And her escort, perhaps, are going to be is her parents and Kat. 12th grade princess, Tamia Moore. And she's going to be escorted by her mom, Tabitha Moore, and her uncle, James Lovett. Tamia also plays varsity volleyball, varsity basketball, and SGA secretary. Let's hear it for the 12th grade princess. Also, 12th grade princess, Mackenzie Henderson. Her escorts are going to be her mother, Angela, father, Quante, little brother, Landon. And her extracurricular activities is track and field. Let's hear it for our 12th grade princess. Also, 12th grade princess, Cassidy Dinar. And she's going to be escorted by Miss Callahan, Andrea, and her sister and mother. And she's also the football manager, and she also participates in girls track and field, and she throws the javelin, and she qualified in the district. Let's hear it for our 12th grade princess. All right, the moment we all been waiting for. Let's make some noise. Let me hear y'all make some noise out there. Coming up next, we have our king and queen. All right, up first, introducing our 2025 homecoming queen. It's going to be none other than Miss Genesis Mindy. All right. And coming up next, our 2025 homecoming king is going to be Kevin Gargamez. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big hand for all the participants tonight? And that is going to be our 2025 homecoming court. All right, how about a big hand for all the homecoming participants your attention. To the field. All right, and it looks like all right, so we're moving right along here. All right. I also would like to give a big shout out to the class of 1980. That's right. Anybody from the class of 1980 out here? And
And welcome back to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Tiger Stadium. The Villages have traveled here and currently losing 6-0 as quarter number 3 is about to start. To recap our first half a little bit, it was a story of the turnovers, actually. It was Villages with the ball first, and their second play of the first drive of the game, Cocoa came up with a fumble, was able to get in field goal range, and secured 3 points. And then back the other way, it was Cocoa who fumbled, and Villages was able to recover that. But then we saw Cocoa throw an interception as well. So it's been a back and forth, turnover-ish type of game, but it's a huge game with it being a district game, and both sides still feel like they're in this ball game, Terry.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good. And in order for it's going to take a village for the Villages to win this game, because
absolutely,
it looks like they've been trying to just hand this game over to the Cocoa Tigers.
So kicking off now is Villages to start this second half.
And the kick is back.
It is deep. It is Zaylen Chappell
It's going to be a touchback.
who looked to return it, but they're going to call it a touchback. So Cocoa will take it out to the 20-yard line to start their first drive of the second half. I have to say, Champ Smith looked really good other than the interception. He looked really good in that first half, composed, and the continuity is one thing that we mentioned, and that was huge. Being able to get in rhythm with your receivers and get in rhythm with them early in this ball game, and it's looked the way it's supposed to look. It's looked fluent for the Cocoa Tigers offense.
Yeah, it definitely has. And let's see what they're going to do in this half. I know the coaches have been giving them an earful about ball protection, so we'll see what happens.
That's going to be Chapel.
Zaylen Chappell was able to pick up about 9 on that first down run down the sideline.
About 7 yards on the play.
I say he stepped out of bounds, so mark it back a couple yards, give him a 7 on the game.
It's going to bring up second down and 3 here. The snap.
It's going to be a quick throw outside. C.J. Hester, not much room to run, but he finds maybe a yard, maybe 2. It looks like it's going to be right by the first down line, and they are going to give him the first down. So,
yeah, you got to come out aggressive, and that's what they've been doing. And so they continue this pace, control the ball, and eliminate the turnovers.
Number 13.
trips at the top of the screen. Champ Smith will step back, and it's going to be that quick little shovel pass to Javion Scott. He's got room. And that's the second time we've seen them do that shovel pass. And once again, it goes for a big gain.
Yeah, it definitely goes for a big gain, and that's a la the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they took a page out of the Kansas City Chiefs playbook, and it's been successful for them.
Good play there. Champ Smith is going to go over the middle, and it is in and out of the hands of C.J. Hester.
Yeah, he's disappointed in himself because Hester knew I should have caught that pass, because, like I said, they've had success in the middle, and they're gonna continue to attack that middle because it's wide open.
It was, and there was really a tight window for Champ Smith to throw it through, and he got it to Hester. Hester had to go upstairs a little bit for that one, but it was a catchable ball. So that'll be second down and 10 now from the 47-yard line. Smith takes the snap. He's going to step back to pass again. And he's going to tell Hester to go deep, and it is thrown out of bounds.
Pass was intended for number 1.
And once again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. There's a lot of people. Some folks here, the class of 1980. John Taylor said he's the class of 1980. That's good. Congratulations. And there's a lot of Tigers that are watching tonight. And thank you all for watching. Go ahead and shout out what year you graduated high school here, if you graduated from Cocoa, or if you graduated from the Villages. And then also shout out if you have a young man that you out cheering for, or a young woman who's out here cheering, or someone in the band. Go ahead and shout them out, because we love all high school athletes.
No doubt about it. That's a 5-yard penalty right there for a false start on Coco will move them back and make it 3rd and even longer, 3rd and 15. Great ball game tonight. Great weather. Absolutely football weather tonight. Champ Smith is going to go absolutely deep. And we're going to see a pass interference.
Yeah,
it was Cavante Corbin that was there on the coverage, but he tripped up Hester.
well, you know what? That was probably the smart thing to do, because if he didn't trip him up, Zane, he was going to score a touchdown. So he did the next best thing, and that was to trip him up. So if you're going to get beat, you may not, have to give up a touchdown while you getting beat.
And, other than the deep throw over the middle that was intercepted, there's not really been any bad things that have come from throwing it deep. I wonder if you're Coach Schneider, you say, hey, we have some mismatches on the outside. Why don't we exploit that a little bit more and give Tank White an opportunity, give Zaylen Chappell an opportunity, give another opportunity to CJ Hester to go one-on-one with these guys deep. Because, honestly, the Villages, they're now in a zone, but they've been playing man-to-man.
Yeah, they sure have.
It's going to be Javion Scott up the middle. He's going to pick up about 2. But, yeah, as I mentioned, we have absolutely great football weather. Clear skies, about 72 degrees.
Little breeze.
Oh, man. Football weather. 10:20 left in this third quarter. If you are tuned in, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia. Wow.
Man, that's going to be broken up.
That was nearly intercepted. Tight window to throw it into. So that'll make it 3rd and 9. And they're in that range where it's kind of no man's land. I think that if you get 6-7 yards right here and you make it 4th and 2, 4th and 3, you're going to go for it.
Yeah, you have to. Especially if you pick up some positive yard, in particular, like you mentioned before, 6 or 7 yards here, you definitely have to go for it.
So 3rd and 9 from the 46-yard line. 42-yard line. Smith is going to go, and it is caught. That's going to be a first down. That was Jaden Mall, as he will pick up the first down.
That was a great catch. He was wide open, and most of the time when you get wide open, you see people panic too because they're that open. He didn't panic at all. He caught the ball and ran. What a hit. That was a pretty tough hit. Number 8 from the Villages laid some wood out there tonight.
No huddle, just a quick snap throw out to Maul once again, and it was Cavante Corbin that laid the wood on Maul, so that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's going to be a run up the middle. Javion Scott, he's got room and nearly stays on his feet.
He tried, Zane. He tried to keep his balance, but Turf Monster wins every time.
Oh, yeah. It's been a heavy dose of Javion Scott tonight, and with the pitch pass, the runs inside, the runs outside, Scott's had himself a game tonight.
Yes, indeed.
Taken down to the 9-minute mark in this first drive of the second half. Able to elude one tackler, and it's going to be about a 1-yard gain. So they're outside of the 10-yard line, so that means you still can get the first down. You don't have to get in the end zone. But it makes it tough when you get down to this part of the field because you can't run these big-time pass plays that you've been running. You can't throw it, 20 yards downfield. You got to be a little bit decisive about what you throw and what you run.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Rolling out is Smith. He's going to go to the end zone, and it is high and over the outstretched hand of Tank White.
Yeah, you want that one back. If you're champ, you see he had his head down because he had the receiver wide open. You want that one back.
Yeah, Smith led him just a little bit too much, and You're exactly right. He's going to want that throw back because he hits him in stride and accurately. That's a touchdown. So make it 3rd down and 10. Bunch formation, but Smith has an empty set. He's going to throw end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. And
he's still running, Zane.
That is Tank White on the reception for a touchdown. And this one does not have a penalty to bring it back, so that'll be a touchdown for the Cocoa Tigers. Champ Smith to Tank White, 11 yards for a touchdown.
What a catch. You know, and they needed that. They needed a score because they've been so close. They've gotten one take called back. So for them not to have this one called back, that has to do wonders for this team.
Yeah, it's got to feel good. The extra point is up, and it is good. So make it 13-0 with 8:20 left in this 3rd quarter. Cocoa goes up 13-0. And I'll tell you right now, Villages was talking a lot ahead of this game because they came in at 8-0. Cocoa comes in at 2-4. But Cocoa's saying, hey, we beat you guys 54-0 next year. And guess what? We'll beat you guys 54-0 again. And we'll show you why we are the three-peat state champions. And they have done so far. So 13-0. And really the Villages, they got to get something going now.
Yeah, they're going to have to get something very fast because, like I say, it's going to take a village, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take a village for them to score these points. But they can score. They've had opportune times to go out and score,
Yep.
but they haven't capitalized. So for them to be down 13-0, you're still not out, even though you're down. And they're just going to have to remain disciplined, remain poised like they were, but they're going to have to eliminate the turnovers.
Absolutely. Kickoff will probably be a touchback, and it was. So Villages will take it out to the 20-yard line. Like Terry said, this is kind of the time that Villages needs to get it going. We've seen them have some success. We saw some deep passes. We saw a tremendous catch and effort by Cavante Corbin. And we've seen some runs that have been successful as well, but it looked like they haven't put a complete drive together. They've put a good drive together, but not a complete drive. So,
but you definitely don't want to become one-dimensional here because you're down 13-0. You still have a lot of football left to be played. So you can still run the ball. You can still do your screen plays. You can do whatever you can, but you've had success throwing it down the field.
5 wide, empty backfield for Kennedy.
Look, the quarterback.
He's going to eventually he's going to go over to Corbin, and Corbin's going down the sideline, and he's got some speed. My, oh, my.
Wow.
I'll tell you right now, if he's running without the pads on, they're not catching him.
Yeah, I think he was running at least 15 to 18 miles per hour right there.
I was thinking closer to 20.
We can go with that. You won't get an argument out of me with that one.
He was flying down that sideline. Cavante Corbin makes 2 moves, and he was nearly gone. So a touchdown-saving tackle on that sideline by, I believe that was Tank White that was able to catch up to him. But
I thought Florida had a speed law. You know, you can't go 15, 20 miles per hour over the speed limit now. We're going to have to arrest this young man because he had some wheels.
Flying down that sideline, sets up in Cocoa territory. Handoff up the middle.
Nice run by number 15 off to the right side. And he's going to be
That was number 15, Antoine Johnson, that took the handoff. He was able to pick up about 4 or 5 on first down, and that's staying on schedule right there.
Yeah, but good job by Coco because there was a group tackle. You know, you want to see that. Anytime you're a defensive coordinator and you got 4 or 5 people on your team that is tackling one player, you love to see that because it lets you know that everybody's in sync.
So make it 2nd down and 5 for the Villages. Pass is caught.
Pass caught by number 12. He's still fighting for yards.
That's number 12, Brady Hunt. We called his name earlier, and he was able to catch it and fight for more yards. He gets about 13 and a first down.
That ball is going to be spotted at the 20-yard line of the Tigers here. 6:51 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We still have plenty of ball game left.
So the Villages now driving down the field. They are right at the 20-yard line. It's going to be a handoff. Johnson.
And this is encouraging if you're the Buffaloes. You want to see that. You want to see all these positive yards that you're getting and no flags on the field. You know, so they're having their way with this Cocoa defense right now. And if you're the Villages, like I tell you, it's going to take a village, and it looks like that's what's happening right now.
It is. It's going to be a throw outside. Cavante Corbin. He gets down to about the 2-yard line. It's going to be a holding.
Yeah, I just spoke about flags, and then I just talked it up, huh? So there's a flag on the field.
That's going to move them back 10 yards here.
So that'll move the Villages back.
It's 10 yards there.
Yep, that's a big loss, as they were really down to the 2-yard line after that throw outside to Corbin. I don't see many people that's guarding Corbin right now. He's got speed and he's able to shift. Three wide receivers at the top of your screen. It's going to be a pitch outside. Johnson. He's going to be close to the first down line.
I tell you what, the referees missed that one because it was another holding on that play, but they missed that one. And I know if you're the Buffaloes, you're like, woo, thank you, because the refs totally missed that hold on that play.
3rd and inches. Hard count not going to work on that Cocoa front line.
Almost had him, though, Zane.
Man in motion was Corbin. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. And it's a fumble ripped out, and Cocoa will recover the ball within inside their own 5-yard line. You could not ask for a more impact play right there by the Cocoa defense.
This is what I was telling you about. You're going to have to go down and capitalize when you had a chance. Your offense was playing exceptionally well. You know, you just got the first down and you turned the ball over. I don't think the Villages want to win this game, Zane.
Well, right now that Cocoa defense is playing like the Cocoa defense that we've seen over the past couple of years that has helped them win 3 straight state championships. We have a water break by the officials at the 4:48 mark here in the 3rd quarter. A big-time play right there by Redman Thompson, able to force that fumble. The Villages drove all the way down the field. They started at their own 20-yard line, and they squander up points by fumbling inside the 10-yard line. So give the ball back to the Cocoa offense. They do have the ball at their own 3-yard line, so they do have to be very careful right here of not being too cute. You know, want to make the smart read, make the smart play. I would say, I mean, they've been effective with the run. I would say you run the ball right at the middle with Javion Scott.
And they also been affected, and they know that the Villages know that they're going to try to run, but you've been affected over the middle as well. So if that's available, then that's there. But run some clock. You're winning.
It is going to be Scott, and he gets loose.
Wow.
And Scott up the middle. That's why I said I would go Scott up the middle, because you don't know if he's going to get 2 yards or maybe 45 yards.
That was one heck of a run. That's determination right there, because he should have been down at the 6-yard line. But, you know, this young man has heart, and that's one thing you can't teach is heart. And you also can't teach speed, and he has that as well. But most importantly, though, Zane, you get to run the ball a little bit more. You say, hey, we're going to showcase our running offense and then waste some clock.
Yep. So call it a gain of 41. We'll move Cocoa up to the 44-yard line. Plenty of room now. They try another run there by Zaylen Chappell. That was number 7, Jeremiah Wims of the Villages, in there on the tackle.
Great job by Jeremiah Wims. I mean, he just jumped right all over that play. You know, it's almost like he already knew what the play was going to happen. Outstanding tackle. And that's what you look for, textbook tackling. And you don't want to look at the scoreboard and say, yeah, we're down 13 and we just scored they just got a turnover. You got to continue to play.
Smith is going deep, and that is picked off.
Just like I said, Zane, you got to continue to play. And when you continue to play, you get turnovers like that. That was an ill-advised throw by Champ. You know, you have to realize and recognize that your team just went down there and got a turnover. You can't give it back to the other team. Run the ball. Get what's gotten you here. Short passes, safe passes. Those are the things. Now you're giving this team a momentum. And even though it feels like Coco's up by 25, they're only up by 13. So if you're the Buffaloes, you got to be like, okay, wow, we dodged a bullet, and we can go down here and score again. They've been marching down the field.
They have. I think right now, the coach for the Villages, he's going to tell his team, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to put up points on this drive. We're ticking near the end of the third quarter. This is a crucial drive. You don't want to go into the fourth quarter. You're in a hostile environment. It's senior night. It's homecoming night for this Cocoa team. You cannot go into the fourth quarter down by 2 touchdowns to a Cocoa team that's hungry for a win.
Yeah, you can't. And they need this win.
It's going to be a bounce outside. Not really much room to run there. That was Drain. Actually, that was Roberts, on the run for the Buffalo. Clock is ticking. We're at the 3:30 mark here in the third quarter. 13-0. Cocoa still leading over the Villages. Another interception just caught by the Villages defense. So both defenses have been able to force turnovers and make plays. And it looked like on that last interception, it was just a little bit of a miscommunication from Champ Smith. And wow, we have an interception on the Cocoa team.
Right place, right time. That's all you can say.
I don't know who forced it, but it was Redman Thompson that came up with the ball. And it just seems like Redman is always in the right place at the right time.
Right place, right time. And you know what? That young man is having himself a night tonight.
He's now has a forced fumble. He has a sack tonight. He has a tackle for a loss, and now
an interception.
An interception.
What is it? Anything he's not going to do? Is he going to punt the ball next?
At this point, they might as well line him up at running back and just tell him to go downhill. But now you're going to look at the Cocoa offense and say, hey, you just caught a break. You really need to be smart with the play calling here because you're already in the red zone. You cannot afford to turn the ball over. It's going to be a handoff. Javion Scott, he breaks one tackle, and he is into the end zone. It was about time Javion Scott got in the end zone, and he did it just right there. So 11-yard touchdown for Javion Scott will now make it 19-0 for the Cocoa Tigers.
The Tigers are scoring in bunches, Zane, and this is what you want. They remember that 54-0 shutout. And right now they're shutting them out. It's not 54-0, but it's the numbers are piling up.
The extra point is up and good. That will make it 20-0. Cocoa leads here with 2:56 left in the third quarter. The Villages have had opportunities. They've squandered them away with turnovers. And that was one thing that we talked about in that first half, Terry, is the Cocoa defensive line has been after Jadens Kennedy all game long. You got to throw the ball sooner, and right there he held the ball too long, and the Tigers were all over it.
Yeah, they definitely were. And I'll tell you what, this crowd is excited. This crowd is electrifying, you know, and rightfully so. You know, you got the class of 1980 out here. You got the class of 85. You got the class of 95. You got all these different classes that are out here, and they're definitely showing all these different classes that we definitely are Tigers, and y'all going to hear us roar tonight.
It's senior night. You know, when you play your senior night game, you cannot afford to drop your senior night game, and especially a district matchup like this. So Cocoa has shown up tonight. And if that kick is out of bounds, if Cocoa does finish it off tonight and they win this game, they will be the number one. They will have won their district, as even if they lost to Astronaut, the tiebreaker would still go to Cocoa. So technically this game will be a kind of the district title, as Astronaut already lost to Villages. And even, like I said, even if Astronaut somehow, some way upsets Cocoa, you look at the tiebreakers that would make that Cocoa would still have won their district.
So this game really means a lot for both teams, as we talked about before. And it isn't going to show you if you're 8-0 or you're 2-4. You know, this game means a lot for both teams, and it looks like it means a lot more to Cocoa because they're up 20-0 with 2 minutes and 56 seconds left in the third quarter.
So Village's offense will take over, ball at the 35-yard line after it was kicked out of bounds. Kennedy is going to throw. It is caught. That was Omari Hill, number 14 on the reception. We saw him make a tremendous catch on the right side of the field earlier in the game. And we've seen the weapons that Villages have had. They just haven't been able to, like I said earlier, complete a drive. They've had good drives, but they haven't completed a drive tonight. And that's why Cocoa has jumped out to this 20-0 lead.
Yeah, you're right. And they had plenty of times to capitalize and score. They were down in the red zone, but they couldn't punch the ball in.
Quick throw outside. Cavante Corbin, he makes a cut up field, and that's going to be a first down. And I'll tell you right now, that young man puts his foot in the ground, and he is shifty.
Yes, he is. He kind of reminds me of a wide receiver that played numerous of years. It kind of reminds me of that Jamar Chase type of runner where he likes to shift. And Justin Jefferson, he has that kind of. They're not super fast, but they're fast enough to make you miss them.
You know, he reminds me of a player that actually used to play for the University of Florida, and Kadarius Toney. He has probably some more speed than Toney, but he has that same wiggle and that same shiftiness that Toney had. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of wasted talent for Toney. He was a tremendous player, but could not stay consistent enough in the NFL. So,
yeah, I mean,
it
happens.
I know you as a Seminoles fan are going to say, hey, he wasn't that good to begin with.
I'm not going to. I recognize talent when I see it, and you're right. That young man has a lot of talent.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney wasn't really the fastest guy on the field, but he had that shiftiness that when he put his foot in the ground, his cutback ability would able to really juke people and make room for him to run. So we'll see if the Villages can put a couple good plays together after that good one right there by Cavante Corbin. Kennedy's going to throw. He steps up, and he's going to be sacked.
His line's got to do a better job of keeping him upright, too. As soon as he says hike, Cocoa Tigers are in his chin strap. And you can't have that. You got to give him some breathing room in order for him to execute and throw the ball to the receivers.
Yeah, that offensive line, I'll tell you right now, after this game, they're going to be embarrassed on film of what they've seen tonight, because that defensive line from Cocoa has just outworked them. Like, there's no other way to say it. They've just outworked them. It's going to be a pitch outside and reversing field.
And that's that speed of Coco. You know, you definitely don't want to run that way to get positive yards, and they didn't get any positive yards on that. But that's just goes to show you the speed that Coco has, left or right. They have the speed, and so they're gonna have to throw the ball down vertically in order for them to be successful. And if they're gonna run the ball, they're gonna have to run it so that you run it straight ahead, no cutbacks, no pitching, because that allows something like that to happen, and you losing yards. You can't afford to lose any yards on these drives here.
You even go back to the beginning of the game, they were running it up the middle, and they were having success with it. You start running it outside, that's feeding to what Coco wants you to do.
Yeah.
Trips at the bottom of the screen. It is 3rd and 13. Kavonte Corbin goes out in motion, and that one looks like a miscommunication.
Yeah, he was not on the same page as the receiver, but I wish he was, because if he was, that was a touchdown, Zane. If he would have just waited a few seconds and threw it to his wide receiver the way his wide receiver was running that route, no one was catching that young man.
No, they weren't. And Omari Hill, he has some speed as well on that outside, so you might as well call it a touchdown if he would have caught that in stride. And it looks like Coco probably should have good field position, as the punter will have a pretty good punt. It's going to take a nice Villages roll, as they will down it at about the 17-yard line. So with 1 minute left in this third quarter, it is Coco 20 and Villages 0. Honestly, tonight I can't tell you that I was too surprised about the good performance from Coco, but really the lack of performance from Villages, because you look at their schedule and you could say, hey, they probably haven't played some teams that are great quality, but they've dominated. And when I mean dominated, they have a couple games that they won in the 50s and shut teams out. They have a victory this year, 72-0. So really the performance by the Villages is what has surprised me most.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think this is a different caliber of talent you have here too, not to take anything away from the other teams that they've played, but Coco's a 3-time state champions for a reason. Yep. I know their record doesn't reflect that, but they still have a lot of those guys that are on these state championship teams. So this is their senior year, so they don't want to go out without having a bang.
No doubt. The throw outside goes to Javion Scott. It looks like he's about to pick up about 2, maybe 3.
As we are under the minute mark here in the third quarter.
They're going to give him about 1.5 yards right there. So clock is ticking down here in this third quarter. Champ Smith throws it outside, and it is dropped. Scott just wasn't ready for that one. He turned around, and the ball was literally right by his hand. So the Villages, this is a big-time play for them right here. You force a 3 and out, then you can get the ball in relatively good field position. But conversely, Coco, you're going to say, hey, if we can get the first down right here, we're going to start running the ball and run that clock.
Well, this is what Coco needs to do anyway. They don't need to throw another pass. They need to just run the ball and waste his time and let the third quarter play out.
It's going to be an empty backfield for Champ Smith. He's got a bunch formation to the left of him. Smith rolls out. And he's going to throw it and just throw it out of bounds. But I'll tell you right now, Coach Schneider over there on the sideline, he is not happy.
Yeah, I didn't even like that play call, Zane. I think they should have just run the ball. You're up 20-0. You don't have anything else to prove. Just run the ball and let this quarter play out. And now you're leaving 11 seconds left on the clock. All it takes is for one run back, and then now you're getting this team momentum and feel like they can win this game.
Yep. So punt is off. It is a nice punt. It is caught by Kavonte Corbin. He makes one man miss and will be tackled right at midfield as the third quarter comes to an end. That is the last play of the third. So here we enter the fourth quarter. 20-0, Cocoa leading the Villages Charter Buffalo, as this is the district title game for the Cocoa Tigers and the Villages Charter. Big time game. Both teams putting their fours in the air. And you know Cocoa, they're gonna do their chant, fourth quarter, Tiger quarter.
Cocoa Tiger fans, I want y'all to help me give a big shout out to our varsity cheerleaders. Let's hear it for the varsity cheerleaders as I introduce them right quick. We have our captain.
This is the time of the game right now that the Villages really need to take this good field position and do something with it if they want to be back in this game. So crazier things have happened. Anything can happen on any given Friday. It is a 3-touchdown game currently, but all it takes is one or two momentum plays and a team can get right back into it. So Villages scores quick right here. Even if you score this touchdown, let's say within 2 minutes, and there's still 10+ minutes on the clock, you're only down by 2 scores. That's still enough time to come back in this game.
Yeah, it definitely is enough time. And like I said, it's a lot of stuff that can happen. But if you're Cocoa, once you get possession of the ball, just run it.
Yep.
I wouldn't throw the ball. I'll just continue to run it and let that clock tick.
Yeah, Javion Scott has had a lot of success on the ground. I would be giving him the ball every single down.
Feed me, Seymour.
Yep.
Coach Tia Scott and Coach Kiki Simmons. We would also like to give a special thank you to game day photographer, Miss Two Snaps. And once again, give it up for your Cocoa High varsity cheerleaders, making every game brighter.
So the Villages take over at the 50, and that's going to be a false start. Move them back 5 yards.
That's got to be frustrating if you're a coach. You're coming out of the half, the quarter, and you get a pre-snap penalty. That has to be really frustrating. But that goes to show you the makeup of the game. The Villages have been definitely kicking themselves in the butt and shooting themselves in the foot, I should say, with everything. Turnovers, pre-snap penalties, and you're down 20-0.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a throw over the middle. Throw is a little bit behind the intended receiver.
I think the receiver heard the safety coming back there, and because he could have caught that ball. You know, he tried to catch it with his hands, but you got to learn how to catch it and bring that ball in. And he wasn't doing that on that play. But that goes to show you, though, they're watching the scoreboard. They're losing 20-0, and you know they probably are not happy with themselves right now.
The throw needed to be a little bit more accurate. It was a little bit behind the receiver right there. Made it difficult for him to get a good grasp on it, but it was a catchable ball. Omari Hill catches. That was a good throw right there. So that'll make it a 3rd and medium. That'll have it about a 3rd and 5. And I'm telling you right now, the DJ's playing some loud music. That has got the Cocoa team going. I can tell you that right now. I don't even know what he's playing. It sounds like, it sounds like it could be some NBA young boy. I don't know. I don't know what's playing right now, but I can tell you right now, it is getting the Cocoa team hype.
Well, I tell you one thing. I don't know. It's not my generation, so I don't understand it.
Going deep, and that's going to be, that's going to be a pass interference.
Yeah, that was a complete obvious pass interference. He turned the receiver completely around. You know, he turned his whole entire body. So that was a good call by the referees.
Coach Schneider's going to try to argue it because the ball was thrown out of bounds, but we've already seen Omari Hill make some tremendous catches tonight. I'm not putting it past him that he could have caught that ball.
Yeah, this young man's catching everything. So, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't put it past him either. But you got to give him a chance. And when you're getting turned around, at the 15 yards down the field, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to catch anything.
So that's going to be an automatic first down. That's going to move the offense all the way up to about the 30, I believe. Yeah, they're going to place the ball at the 31-yard line. So with 11:08 left here in this fourth quarter.
All right. It's going to be first and 10 here.
Yeah, it's going to be the 31-yard line.
The Tigers
So the Buffalo have a chance now to
behind the center.
move this into the red zone.
The snap.
It's going to be a run right up the middle, and that's going to go nowhere. And really, this is the part of the game. I'm sorry, you can't be running the ball no more. You're down by 3 touchdowns. It's Kennedy throwing the ball. You just don't have the opportunity and the chance to run the ball, especially if you haven't been that successful running the ball. Then you really should not be running the ball right now. That's going to be in favor of the Tigers defense.
Yeah, the Tigers are definitely happy about them running the ball, but there's no sense of urgency for the Villages. Like they're moving like they're up by 20, but they're actually down by 20.
Yeah, they are taking their time. Step back by Kennedy. He throws it outside to Corbin. It is caught. That's going to be about a gain of 8, and it'll be close to the first down marker. That'll make it about 3rd and inches.
And depending on the spot here, let's see what we got. It looks like it's going to be 3rd down.
Wow,
For the Villages.
they actually didn't give him as favorable a spot as I originally thought they did. That's going to make it 3rd and 2. I thought it was a little bit closer than that.
The snap.
Kennedy, quick throw out to the outside. And it looks like he's going to be just short by
Big hit out of bounds by the
a
Tigers.
couple of inches. They might have to bring the chains out for that one.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're going to have to bring the chains out. That was definitely short, but I'll tell you what, the receiver is going to be hurting because his body was twisted and turning, and he got hit pretty hard as well.
As we still have a player down.
Yeah, the receiver on that play, that was number 18, Debo Clark, and he took a shot right there. So we have an injury timeout on the play. Once again, we want to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in tonight on the Friday Night Locker Room by Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Tiger Stadium, home of the Cocoa Tigers. This is their senior night. This is their homecoming. This is their district title game. The Villages came into this game at 8-0. Cocoa came into this game at 2-4. There was a lot of talk about the Villages, getting their revenge after losing 54-0 a year ago, and Cocoa has pretty much, in other words, shut their mouth because it is 20-0. It has been all Cocoa tonight. And I can tell you right now, despite the 2-4 record, this Cocoa team is still very talented. They just haven't put it all together. It looks like tonight they have really finally done that, which if you ask a lot of teams, when do you want to be playing your best ball? Right before postseason. So if they can really keep this momentum going into the game against Astronaut, into the game against Rockledge, and they still have to make up that game against Apopka in a couple of weeks, this is really everything that Cocoa would want, is to be playing their best ball at the end of the season. So really it's been a tough year for Cocoa, as they haven't lost 4 games in many years. They haven't really had to compete, so to speak, for their district. They've just always been dominant, but all around this team still has a lot of talent. It's going to be 3rd and inches. It's going to be Cavante Corbin. He was close.
That's going to be a tough one there, Zane.
Yeah, I don't know if you bring out the chains or not. He reached forward, and I don't think he was down, but it looks like the Cocoa defense made a stand. I think they're going to mark this at 4th down.
Well, I thought it was already at 4th down already. I thought this was 4th and.
Oh, yeah, it was. Excuse me. they're going to have to bring the chains out. And they're going to mark that Cocoa football. Village's coach is going to ask probably to bring the chains out, but it doesn't look like they're going to do it. It was close. I think that's about as close as you could say.
I think the players was kind of egging the referees on, like, come on, ref, we need this. But, good job on Coco's defense for staying true. They could be looking at the scoreboard and saying we're up 20-0, we'll let them score. But they're trying to pitch a shutout because if the score doesn't change and the game is 20-0, they would have beaten the Villages 74-0 in the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's a crazy total to even wrap your head around. So the Cocoa offense will take over, and I can guarantee you it's going to be a high dose of Javion Scott. Scott right up the middle. Find some more room to run. He's going to cut outside, and here he goes.
Wow.
And Scott, he's not even one of those runners that has breakaway speed. He's just slippery. They can't get him to the ground.
Yeah, and one of the things he did when he was in the hole, he got skinny. When you get skinny in the hole, when you're able to do that, no one could tackle you. It looks like he had Vaseline on his jersey. People were sliding on and off of him. But good run, good determination, and he's trying to pad in those stats, Zane, and he's doing a great job of doing it.
Time is ticking as well. We're ticking towards the 9-minute mark left in this game. Coco's still holding a 20-0 lead. It hasn't been the cleanest game for Cocoa, but you can say they've played a lot better tonight than they have in recent games. So another run by Javion Scott and another first down. I can tell you right now, Javion Scott running the ball that way makes this Cocoa team very, very dynamic. They have some guys on the outside that really can be trouble. C.J. Hester, Tank White, Zaylen Chappell, but with Javion Scott running the ball, traditional ground and pound running, that can make this Cocoa team dangerous.
You're right, Zane. And if you know what, I'll continue to run. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's going to be a quick throw outside to Cayman Varys. And he goes out of bounds after picking up probably a 9 and close to the first down marker. Time will continue to tick as we get close to the 8-minute mark.
I also would like to give a shout out to Strata and Varys Footwork. Thank you for being a Tiger Pride sponsor. The snap.
It's going to be a handoff to Chappell. He's going to pick up right about 3 yards. That'll make it 3rd and short. We are ticking right under 8 minutes. This is an important stop right here for the Villages. Cocoa gets this first down. I mean, the game's pretty much already salted away. You're down by 3 scores with this time left in the game. For Villages to win, they would need an absolute miracle. But I think you get the first down right here, then you can pretty much just salt it away and go home with the victory already.
Yeah, I agree.
Chappell's, that was not a smart idea by Chappell.
He's going to be wrapped up by a host of.
Now, I'll tell you right there, Chappell wanted to bust it outside because he saw room, but you got to think, you only need 1 yard. Just go north and south. Don't go east and west, especially on 3rd and 1. All you got to do is run that ball right up the middle, and you're going to pick up the first down. So not the smartest run there by Chappell, but they will go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, and they'll probably do a safe pass here, but they've been having so much success running the ball. You can kind of do anything. You can even throw it out the door, throw it to the back in the backfield too, and see what happens.
It's going to be a swing out pass to Cayman Varys. He breaks out of a tackle. And there you go. It is a first down, gain of 7.
It's contagious, Zane. Your defense showed up. Your special team showed up. Now your offense have shown up. it's contagious, and it rubs off on everybody. Everybody catches the pass. Even the players that don't normally make this much of a difference on their team, they're making a difference. They're making these plays because they know what's at stake, and they know that they can win this division. And they're in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes and 30-something seconds left. They want to win.
Scott not able to get much right there, but yeah, I think that this has been the performance that the Cocoa team and the Cocoa faithful have been waiting to see. Now, you can talk about some of the tough losses that they had, the O'Galley game. You can even look back at the Vero Beach games. You can look at those games those were really tough losses. But those type of games, they really prepare you for what's to come. And that one was nearly intercepted. That's not a smart idea at all at this time of the game. I'll tell you right now, Cocoa should just be running the ball because that stops the clock.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to add insult to injury and score more points.
They are.
But I mean, scoring the more points, that don't really get you anywhere. You need to work on things that's going to help you out, and that's not going to help you out throwing in double coverage.
Right.
Like you said, you run the ball. It's not pretty. A lot of people don't like to run the ball when you're up 20-0, but it's going to get you. It's going to get you the victory.
So 3rd and 11 for the offense. Champ Smith steps back. He's going to run it. And he scampers for about 5. That's going to make it 4th and 9. Honestly, where they're at, I think you send out the field goal unit. You see what your kicker can do. You're at the 29-yard line. That makes it about a 45-yarder.
Well, you already know what your kicker can do. You know, this is a time for you to show up and do these plays that if you actually need the 4th down, you work on a play that you worked on in practice. This is time for you to show that. You know, the game is pretty much out of reach. It's not over, but it's out of reach. And you just work on those plays that you're going to desperately need in the long run.
Yeah, ticking down. We are now under 5 minutes left in this game. Cocoa leading 20-0. They're going to take a timeout right here. And I think this is kind of like what you said, Terry. They're going to kind of scheme up a play that later in the season when you absolutely need it, you got to have it. We're going to call this play.
Yeah.
So once again, thank everyone for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily tonight. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Tiger Stadium, home of the Cocoa Tigers. This win right here will make Cocoa 3-4 and give them the district crown. Whether or not they lose that Astronaut game, Astronaut lost to Villages. So the tiebreaker would technically go to Cocoa, regardless of what happens in that game. So 3-4 on the season for Cocoa. They'll be giving the Villages their first loss of the season. Villages will fall to 8-1, and Cocoa will next week see Astronaut before the Barbecue Bowl, the annual Barbecue Bowl between Cocoa and Rockledge on the 30th. That will not be the last game of the season, though, as the Apopka game was rescheduled to November 3rd. Champ Smith steps back. He's going to throw it, and it is caught. It's caught, but they're going to say he was out of bounds. So a good effort there. That was Jamal Smith that was able to come up with the reception right there, but he was out of bounds. So really actually it dialed up a nice play to get your wide receiver in a spot to catch the ball. But that's one right there that the receiver will probably be like, you know what, I could have Tony toe tapped that a little bit better.
Yeah, I think he's going to really be disappointed because I think he tried to do that.
Yeah.
But it just all didn't. The 1-2 didn't work with the 3 and the 4.
So under the 5-minute mark, Villages is going to try to go down and score. Really, the only chance they have is they need to be scoring either this play or the next play and then do a quick onside and recover that. Kennedy goes outside to Corbin, which I didn't do the exact math on it, but looking at their season, I'm pretty sure Villages is averaging somewhere around 45, 50 points a game.
Wow.
In their 8 games, and to be shut out tonight, that just shows you right there that this Cocoa defense has been stifling.
They sure have. They've been clicking on all cylinders tonight, and it's good to see that because a lot of people they've kind of wrote the Tigers off, even though they're the 3-time state champions, and they're peaking at the right time.
They are. Rolling out is Kennedy. He's going to go deep, and incomplete, nearly caught by Corbin. That I believe was Duran Guilford in coverage.
That looks like number 8, Guilford.
Duran Guilford in the coverage there. And that was great coverage because I'll tell you right now, we've already seen Corbin make some outstanding catches, and right there it looked like it was about to be another one.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come down with that, Zane. But good job on the Cocoa defense for not giving up, too. But I honestly thought he was going to catch that pass.
Yeah, we've seen some amazing catches tonight by really both squads. But this will make it 3rd and 6. It's going to be a quick pass at the first down, and that's going to be a first down. That's number 12, Brady Hunt, on the reception for the Villages. And those are the type of receptions that you like. You know, your receiver goes right to the first down line. You hit him right in the chest. Boom, pick up your first down and move on.
Yep. But they got to move with a little bit more urgency. Right now it's 3 minutes and 40-something seconds left. They kind of, I guess they're coming to the realization that this game is out of reach.
Yep.
But you still want to see the fast pace pick up.
Yeah, we haven't seen any Villages fans leave yet, but I think Cocoa fans are saying, yeah, this game's over, so we've won it. We can head out.
And I think that run kind of showed that this game is kind of over with.
That was Chenard Roberts. It looked like they tried the pitch, and then Roberts was going to throw it downfield, but there was nowhere to go with it, and he just had to step out of bounds. So that's going to be a loss of 8. And the time will stop momentarily, but once they hike the ball, it'll continue ticking, and we're closing in on the 3-minute mark. And I know Cocoa, especially now, after all the stuff that's been said around their season, what's been said to their team by Villages, they want to shut Villages out bad.
How you like me now?
Yep. Corbin goes to the bottom of the screen. Kennedy has to roll out, and he throws it right at the ground. That's going to be intentional grounding. Wow. You can't just throw it into the ground. You have to have a receiver in the area. So Kennedy's looking at the referee saying, why am I getting flagged? You can't just throw the ball into the ground. And that's something that, you said earlier, Terry, he's a junior. He's still got some things to work on, some things to learn. So that's going to be intentional ground. That's going to move. Wow, that's going to move them back inside the 10-yard line, I believe.
And that should be a loss of down as well.
It is. So, correction, they're going to move to the 14-yard line, but that makes it 3rd and 36. We've seen some long third downs from Villages tonight. My goodness. It's going to be a quick pass over the middle. Corbin. And I'll tell you right now, if that tackle was not made by O'Keefe's Battle, he was gone.
Yes. You ever saw a whole herd of buffaloes? You heard that? You hear how they make that rumbling sound? You can hear the ground shaking when they're running. If he would have caught that and did not, if he would have not gotten tackled, you would have heard those buffalo sounds, because that would have not just been from the players, but it would have been from the stands over there too, because they're dying for a score.
They are, and this is kind of like submission right here for Villages. They're punting it away with 2:30 left in this game. So, but even with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left, the game is over and it's in hand, but still enough time for Cocoa to score, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, they know that they're pitching a shutout, but you don't want to, if you want to remain to have this game as a shutout, you don't want to turn the ball over either.
PA announcer just announced what we announced just a moment ago is next week Cocoa will head to Astronaut and place the War Eagles. And like I said, even if Astronaut pulled off that upset over Cocoa next week, Astronaut dropped the game to Villages, so Cocoa would have that tiebreaker win over the Villages, which would pronounce Cocoa the district champion regardless. It's going to be a pitch outside. Javion Scott makes a spin move. I'll tell you right now, it just seems like it doesn't matter how big the hole is or the crease is. Scott finds a way to get through every little crease.
Yeah, and like I said, he's getting skinny. He's got Vaseline on his jersey, Zane. It's kind of hard to tackle that young man. But you know what? That's an exciting thing to see as a coach because you're going to need that, especially going deeper into the season.
Absolutely. You know, when there's blocking, there's usually an A gap and a B gap. Javion, starting with a J, he makes the J gap. He makes his own gap. He makes his own room to run. So handoff right up the middle. Javion Scott again. And that should be a face mask. Yeah.
That's frustration.
I was going to say, that's a frustration tackle. That's saying you've been running all over us tonight. I'm about to grab your helmet and try to rip it off.
Yeah.
I believe that was a face mask. I mean, you could call either one, but he grabbed underneath his helmet, so it's a penalty regardless.
Yeah,
it's
definitely a penalty.
So we're at the 1:36 left. Wow, they're going to pick up the flag.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to just say, you know what, the game's almost over. Let's just keep the time ticking. Villages, they've had enough.
But also, I think he probably grabbed his shoulder pads as well, and versus the face mask, and it looked like it was a face mask.
So timeout taken by Cocoa. 1:36 left in this game, so it's all but finished. Once again, thank you, folks, for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Tiger Stadium. Stick around. We'll have some post-game coverage later on after the game. We'll be talking with the player of the game, which honestly I feel like I have to do courtesy to what he's done tonight. I got to give it to two players. I have to give it to Sandman Thompson on the defensive side of the ball, and I got to give it to Javion Scott on the offensive side of the ball for what they've done to impact this game.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either one of them, but I think Sandman he's been setting the tone from the beginning of the game. But, yeah, you can't go wrong with either one of those players. And if you want to give them to both, why not?
Yeah. That's going to be an offside automatic first down. And I think right there, that was 3rd and 4. They just picked up the automatic first down. I wouldn't be surprised to see them knee and just take the timeout right here.
I think they're just going to give their running back some more reps.
Javion Scott, there he goes.
Like I said, that's like more reps I was telling you about, Zane. I don't know how many yards he has for the game, but I know it's over 100 yards.
He's well over 100 yards tonight. He has been dynamite in a bottle.
Yeah.
And they've unleashed him.
Shout out to those big heavies. Those pulling guards are definitely pulling.
They are. Quick throw outside.
That's going to be Smith. And he brings it across the 15-yard
A minute, down to a minute 10 left in this game. Cocoa's going to try to score again. Why not? Why not? We heard you guys were talking about us on social media saying that we're just another game on the schedule. We're just that. We're just this. You know what? We're going to show you why we won 3 state championships. And there goes Javion Scott. Breaks my, oh, my.
Yeah, they're going for the touchdown, Zane. I know everyone says sportsmanship and you should just take a knee, but they're not taking a knee. This team is 8-0, and they want to show this team that, hey, you're not 8-0 anymore. You're 8-1.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, Javion Scott, he runs the ball like he's 220 pounds.
No fear.
There's nobody that is bringing him down, and just from where we're standing, it looks like he's probably 150 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's running the ball with a lot of heart.
You got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and Coco's look like they're going to try to punch it in.
And we're going to have a
Timeout Villages.
Villages.
So
17 seconds remaining.
Coco is trying to put in another score, make it 27-0, and Villages is saying, hey, we at least need to make a stop right here and don't let them get any more you don't want to put a cherry on top to the victory. And this is the cherry on top right here if they score this touchdown.
Coco just said, yeah, we hear all that, but forget that. We're trying to run up this score on you guys because you're 8-0 right now, but you're going to be 8-1 like I mentioned before. And there were, like you mentioned, like you said earlier, there has been some chatter on social media.
Yep.
But the difference between this chatter on social media is that the Cocoa Tigers backed it up on the field.
Yep, absolutely. So all around, it's been a complete game for this Cocoa team. And they're going to try to punch it in right here. Handoff, Javion Scott bounces it out, and he is in.
Like I mentioned before, Zane, they're definitely going to try to – I know most people will say just take a knee, but they're not taking a knee.
And the Tigers are trying to put a point after attempt here.
So all around, great performance by this Cocoa team. From offense to defense, they've lit it up tonight, and I couldn't tell you how many people were counting out this Cocoa team because of their record. And really, they just told all those naysayers and doubters that they still are a team to be reckoned with, no matter the record. No matter the schedule they have, they're going to put some games together. They're going to put some wins together, and they've been impressive.
Yeah, they sure have. And like a lot of people thought that they left them out for dead, but they were like, no, we're here. We're still alive. We're the 3-time state champion. And we talked about it before. You're peaking at the right time. If they can string together a few more wins, they can find themselves back into the state championship.
They could. I mean, you want to be playing your best ball at this time of the season, and they're doing so tonight. I'll tell you that right now. So Coco will kick it off with 9 seconds left in the game. Presumably this will be the last play of the game unless it's just a touchback like we've seen all night. It's going to be squibbed, but it will be returned. Cavante Corbin finds room to run, and he's going to be gone.
Unbelievable. You score at the last play of the game. And I know Coco has to be kicking themselves right now and say, wow, we held them all the way to the last second. But I'll say, you have to give it to the young man for finishing the game and playing it to the end.
You do, and that's one of those that says, you guys might have won the game, but we did get a chuckle in there. We got a laugh in there. And it looks like they're going to take the field and actually do this extra point.
Well, you earn it, especially after that play.
Cavante Corbin takes it. I think that's going to be a 95-yarder kickoff return for a touchdown. I'll tell you right now, that man Cavante Corbin has wheels. That is probably the fastest player on the field, both sides.
Yeah, he got down there and scored in probably less than 4 or 5 seconds. So
referees are discussing right now if they're going to let them do the last play, and they're going to say, go ahead and do it.
I don't know why the refs are taking their time about figuring it out. You have to let them finish the game. I mean, that was a play that continues the process.
Yep.
And continue the process is either kick a field goal or going for 2.
Yep, absolutely. So no offensive touchdown tonight for the Villages, but on the last play of the game, Cavante Corbin takes a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and that'll be the final 27-6. Terry, your thoughts about this game and what this Cocoa team did tonight?
Well, the Cocoa just pretty much put everybody on notice to say, hey, yeah, you waking a sleeping giant. You know, we taking a little bit of a hiatus, but now we're back. And the score reflected tonight because they just beat a team who was 8-0 and had a lot of confidence coming into this game. So it's great to see that Cocoa has performed a lot and showed their fans and on the internet and in the stands that we're here. We're not going to disappoint you. So they're the 3-time defending champions. And it's good to see that they're coming back and they're finding themselves. They're finding that rhythm, that 1-2 that they was trying to find. They can dance now.
Yeah, Cocoa looked good tonight. They looked complete. And on their senior night, their homecoming night, and a big-time district matchup that will give them the district title, they win it over the Villages Charter Buffalo 27-6 from Terry Spain and Zane Garcia. We say goodnight, and we will